Hello, everyone. I hope you are having a calm and focused moment today. Take a slow breath and allow your mind to feel clear and steady. Have you ever wondered why some people sound fluent in English even when they use simple words? And at the same time, why others sound less fluent even when their grammar is correct? This difference is not always about vocabulary. It is not always about grammar. It is often about small changes, very small changes, changes that are easy to miss, but powerful enough to completely change how your English sounds. Many learners believe fluency comes from knowing more words, more expressions, more advanced structures. So they study more. They try to learn everything. But even after all that effort, their English still feels slightly unnatural, slightly slow, slightly disconnected. And this creates a quiet frustration. Why does my English not sound fluent yet? The answer is simple. Fluency is not only built from knowledge, it is built from usage, from rhythm, from small habits. And these habits are often invisible. Another important idea is efficiency. Fluent speakers do not always say more. They often say less, but they say it more smoothly, more naturally, more comfortably. Another key point is connection. Fluency is not about perfect sentences. It is about how sentences connect, how ideas move, how speech continues. Another important idea is speed of access. Fluent speakers do not search for words. They access them quickly, and this creates a natural flow. But here is something interesting. Many of these differences come from very small changes, small adjustments in how you speak, small habits in how you think, small patterns in how you respond. Let me share a simple example. Two learners say something very similar. The first person says, "I am very happy to meet you." This is correct, clear, but slightly formal. The second person says, "Nice to meet you." Shorter, more natural, more fluent. Another example. Two learners respond in conversation. The first person says, "I agree with your opinion." The second person says, "Yeah, I agree." Both are correct, but the second feels more natural, more fluent. Why? Because of simplicity, because of familiarity, because of real usage. Another important idea is reduction. Fluent speakers do not always pronounce everything clearly. They reduce sounds. They connect words. They speak naturally. And this creates a smoother sound. Another key point is rhythm. Fluency has a rhythm. It moves. It flows. It is not flat. It is not slow. And this rhythm comes from repeated patterns. Another important idea is reaction. Fluent speakers respond quickly. They do not wait too long. They use simple expressions, and this keeps the conversation alive. At this point, you may begin to see something clearly. Fluency is not a big change. It is many small changes, small habits that build over time. But there is still something important we need to understand. What are these small changes exactly? How can we apply them in real conversations? And how can we make them natural without forcing them? And this is where the story begins to go deeper. From small differences to fluent English. Now that we understand fluency comes from small changes, we can begin to explore what those changes actually look like in real communication. The goal is not to change everything. The goal is to adjust small habits that create a big difference. The first step is to shorten your sentences. Many learners speak in full and complete sentences. They try to say everything perfectly, but fluent speakers often simplify. They shorten. They remove unnecessary parts. "I think it is a good idea" becomes I think it's good. Same meaning. More natural. More fluent. The second step is to use contractions naturally. Fluent speech is not formal. It is relaxed. So instead of saying, I am going to, say, I'm gonna, instead of, I want to, say, I wanna, these small changes create a more natural rhythm. The third step is to use filler expressions. Fluent speakers do not speak perfectly. They use small fillers, like, you know, I mean, these give your brain time. They keep your speech moving, and they make you sound more natural. The fourth step is to connect your words. Do not speak word by word. Let your words flow together. This is a good idea. Becomes, this is a good idea. With natural connection. This creates smooth rhythm. Let me share a simple example. Two learners say the same thing. The first person speaks slowly. This is a very good idea. Clear, but not fluent. The second person says, this is a really good idea. Connected, natural, more fluent. The fifth step is to react quickly. Fluency is not only about speaking. It is about responding. Use short reactions. Yeah, right, I know. These small responses make your conversation active. The sixth step is to reduce overthinking. Fluent speakers do not check every sentence. They speak, they continue. They adjust if needed, but they do not stop. The seventh step is to repeat common patterns. Fluency comes from familiarity. Use the same expressions. Repeat them. Make them automatic. This increases speed. The eighth step is to use simple transitions. Also, so, then, these small words help your ideas continue. Another important idea is tone. Fluent English sounds relaxed. Not too formal, not too stiff. So keep your tone natural. Another key point is confidence and simplicity. You do not need complex language. Simple English is powerful. Another important idea is listening influence. The more natural English you hear, the more natural your speaking becomes. Your brain copies patterns. It learns rhythm. It adapts. At this point, you may begin to notice something different. Your speech becomes smoother. Your sentences feel lighter. And your English sounds more fluent. But there is still one important part left. How do we use these small changes in real conversations consistently? How do we sound fluent, even under pressure? And this is where the story moves forward, from small habits to natural fluency. So now we come to the final part of this story. How can you use these small changes naturally in real conversations? Because learning these ideas is one step, but using them without thinking too much is another. Many learners understand these techniques. They shorten their sentences. They use simple expressions. They try to speak more naturally. But in real situations, they sometimes return to old habits. They speak too carefully. They try to be perfect, and their fluency disappears. So the real goal is not to remember every technique. The real goal is to build new habits, habits that work automatically. The first step is to trust simple English. Do not try to sound advanced. Do not try to impress. Use what is easy. Use what is familiar. This keeps your speech smooth. The second step is to stay in motion. Fluency comes from continuation. Do not stop to fix every mistake. Do not pause too long. Keep speaking. Keep connecting your ideas. This builds natural rhythm. The third step is to focus on flow, not form. Form is important, but flow is more important in conversation. If your ideas continue, your communication works. And fluent speakers understand this. The fourth step is to use your voice naturally. Do not sound too formal. Do not speak like a textbook. Relax your tone. Let your voice move. This creates a natural feeling. Let me share a simple example. Two learners are speaking about their day. The first person tries to sound correct. I completed several tasks and had a productive day. This is accurate, but it feels controlled. The second person says, it was a busy day. I did a lot. Simple, but natural. And the conversation feels easier. Another example, two learners react to a situation. The first person says, that situation appears to be quite complicated. The second person says, that's complicated. Or even, that's tough. Shorter, faster, more fluent. The fifth step is to accept natural imperfections. Fluent speech is not perfect. It includes pauses. It includes repetition. It includes small errors, but it continues. And continuation is fluency. The sixth step is to build real speaking experience. The more you speak, the more natural these habits become. Short conversations matter. Daily speaking matters. Each moment builds your fluency. The seventh step is to reduce fear of mistakes. Fear slows you down. It makes you think too much. But when you accept mistakes, you speak more freely, and this creates flow. The eighth step is to be consistent. Fluency is not built in one moment. It grows slowly, through repetition, through use, through time. Another important idea is identity. See yourself as someone who speaks fluently, not perfectly, but continuously. This changes your behavior. Another key point is persistence. There will be moments when your speech feels slow again. This is normal. But if you continue, your fluency returns faster each time. Over time, something begins to change. You no longer think about fluency. You simply speak. Your sentences feel lighter. Your responses come faster. Your conversations flow naturally. And in that moment, you realize something important. Fluency is not a big achievement. It is a collection of small habits, habits that you practiced again and again. And this is the result of everything you have done. Not more knowledge, but better use of simple English. So if you remember one thing from this story, remember this. Fluency is built from small changes. Use simple words. Stay in motion, and let your English flow. Thank you for spending this time with the story. And as always, see you in the next story.